take on the USC Aiken Pacers. My name is Noah Adcock Howarth alongside Aiken's Almanac, Marcus Johnson. Pacers at 3-11, Bobcats at 5-9. Two teams trying to get onto the right side of Peach Belt play. These teams always seem to play each other competitively, though. Seems like we've got a good one on our hands.
Oh, absolutely. Looking at the numbers for these two teams, very even matchup overall. Both teams averaging between 54 and 55 points per game. The story to watch, though, is definitely going to be Georgia College's defense. A much stronger defense than USC Aiken, although USC Aiken does have Monique Emilifanwu, who has been an absolute force under the basket.
Emilifanwu has been one of the most impactful transfers across the Peach Belt Conference. She is leading the conference with over 4 blocks per game, has made an immediate impact in the middle, but she's going to have her hands full with this Bobcats roster. 7 of 14 players at 5'9" or above. There's a lot of length for the Bobcats, averaging nearly 40 rebounds per game. They out-rebound their opponents nearly 6 boards per game, especially on the offensive side. Brittany Batts' squad is going to have to put the body on the defensive glass and limit those second chance opportunities for Georgia College. Starting lineups for both sides, not many changes for Brittany Batts' side the last few games. Nika Kurdia, Max Snyder, Monique Emilifanwu, Morgan McDermott, and McKenna Nix, the impact freshman. Pacers at 0-6 in Peach Belt play, looking for win number 1. For interim head coach Katrina Green, she took over as the primary coach for the Bobcats this season, and she will make just one change to her starting lineup. Bailey Vick will make her 5th start of the year and first of 2026, replacing Natalia Bolden. Opposite her, Deshauna Gaither, Elizabeth Wynn, Nyla Nuri, and Caroline Bevan. A lot of length for Georgia College in the gray with the green trim. Pacers in the white and blue. And USC Aiken, who have dropped 3 of their last 4 games here at the Convocation Center against Georgia College, trying to pick up that first win of the new season. Emilifanwu will jump against Elizabeth Wynn, the 6'2 freshman. And we are ready to kick off this doubleheader. Pacers and Bobcats both looking to get going. And we have got possession on the Pacers side. Aiken going left to right if you're looking from the middle of the gym. Georgia College right to left. It's Emilifanwu driving against the length, and she goes up and under Wynn to open the scoring.
A good fast start for the Pacers, something they need. Looking to build off of the momentum from, even though it was a loss, a really good matchup against nationally ranked Columbus State.
And there's Emilifanwu making another impact, gets the block on Wynn. That's her first. She has 3 or more in all but 1 game this season.
And with that block, she now, assuming it doesn't change, is tied for the lead in the nation in all levels of Division 1, 2, and 3 in blocks.
How about this? Monique Emilifanwu has 5 points in a block in the first 45 seconds. She doesn't take a lot of threes, but she's one of the best on the team when she does shoot from outside. Neither of these teams do so especially well, and the Bobcats get themselves on the board. There was Caroline Bevan getting the opening. Dangerous pass, able to find its target. Morgan McDermott got a little bit sloppy. Here's the freshman Nix, got denied. Well defended by Nyla Nuri. Both teams heavy interior presences. If either of them can get going from outside, it could spell advantage for the 2 first-year head coaches. Down low for Wynn, back outside. A wide open Nuri cannot connect. And the board goes to Emilifanwu, misread by Vick. McDermott pulls up, no good. Emilifanwu, she's got the offensive board, goes right back up, can't connect, and it will go to the Bobcats with a reach-in foul on McDermott.
Yeah, both teams getting away with a little bit of lacking coverage there from beyond the arc, missing those threes, keeping the score right where it is.
Katrina Green, the interim head coach, barking directions from the sideline. She was the assistant last year under Ross Jolly, and then takes over, not given the full-time mantle yet by GCSU. But she's got the team at 5-9 as they look to get back to what would be their 3rd winning season in the last 4 years. Good drive, extra pass. There's multiple options outside. Nobody's there with Bevan, and she still can't hit. Foul going the opposite direction. We'll see which way the whistle blows.
Well, early on, looking like the Pacers doing a good job protecting the paint. They got to man up a little bit more on the arc there to keep them from getting this many opportunities.
McKenna Nix called for the personal. 2 changes for the Pacers. Michaela Primo and Ioana Stefanaki coming off the bench for Brittany Batts. And a foul called away from the ball. A lot of whistles early from this referee crew. That's the second on Nix in 20 seconds of gameplay. And the Pacers' leading scorer will have to sit. In comes Xenia Palaska.
Yeah, big blow for the Pacers not having Nix out there. She's a tall body and a good scorer. Good on both ends of the floor.
And the Bobcats, a very fundamental team. Not only do they rebound well, they shoot brilliantly from the line. 3 fouls in 2.5 minutes. Not the way you want to start off against Georgia College. Foul called, opposite direction, and make it 4 fouls in 2.5. Called a turnover, but not announced on the PA as to what the whistle was, nor was it put up on the board as a foul. It is a turnover, though, and it's Primo up top for Stefanaki as the Pacers go to work. Good find down low, give and go, up and under, and Stefanaki cannot vert. Still 5-2, both offenses a bit slow in the early going. Up top for Deshauna Gaither. Haven't called her name much yet. She can't hit the running layup. It's tipped back out to Vick. There's the offensive board for the Bobcats. You're going to see a lot of that today. Gaither can score in waves. She leads the team in points per game. Vick got away with a walk, and it's another 3-second call. That was the whistle the first time, and it's the second 3-second call against the freshman Elizabeth Wynn.
It's a little odd, the quick scoring to open up the game, and now it's been stuck at 5-2 for the last 2.5 minutes.
Sloan Vick and Natalia Bolden coming off the bench for the Bobcats. Vick and Nuri will sit. Nearly 3 minutes scoreless for Aiken. Palaska trying to change that, and she will. Banks home the 3.
Only the third three-pointer she's made on the year in 19 attempts. Not much of a three-point shooter, much more effective underneath the basket, but I think Coach Brittany Batts will take it this time.
Not going to complain no matter how they come, and there is the league block leader, the national leader in blocks, Emma Lifianwu. Transfer from Trevecca Nazarene out in Nashville. She's found a home here in Aiken, and Brittany Batts has a gem on her hand.
Oh, absolutely. She just keeps looking better and better every game.
Sloan Vick came off the bench. Younger sister of Bailey Vick. Bevan gets rid of it, chucks it up with 2 on the shot clock, and it was nowhere close. That was a desperation heave from Bevan, and it's another turnover for the Bobcats.
Pacers doing a really good job forcing these turnovers. They're actually trailing in the turnover department against Georgia College.
Primo on the point against Gaither. 8-2, Pacers leading by 6, approaching the midway point of the first. Palaska drives in, had her pocket picked. Well defended by Bevan. Here come the Bobcats in transition. Lot of contact, no foul. Gaither thought she had 2 free throws. Primo gets knocked down on the other end, and there's the first personal against the Bobcats.
Pacers defense doing a really nice job here, countering the physicality of the Bobcats early on.
Nuri gets hit with the personal. Elizabeth Wynn checks out for Georgia College. New ad will get another foul immediately. Primo's going to the line for 2. Nyla Nuri gets hers. Gaither and Nuri each with 1. And Michaela Primo will go to the line, where she has shot just 46% on the season.
Yeah, 46%, 26 attempts at the charity stripe. They get 27 and she knocks it through.
So Primo with that free throw has now equaled her point total for the last 3 games combined. The past first point guard off the bench has been a facilitator, but now she's got 2 early points and the Pacers lead by 8.
Yeah, and Primo's done an amazing job moving the ball up the court. Really did a good job countering a full court press that Columbus State issued in their previous game.
Transfer from USC Beaufort stayed in conference. Running rebound, no good. Sloan Vick couldn't get it from the heavy angle, and Georgia College is scoreless for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Body contact, a foul. Stefanaki draws it, and that will be the 3rd against the Bobcats as we hit the media timeout. USC Aiken off and running at home as they look for their first win of the conference season, up 10-2 at the midway point of the first. Pacers on a 5-0 run as the defense for Brittany Batts has been stellar to start off. Georgia College just 1 of 8 from the field, and Aiken has possession underneath. Primo running out of time and just barely got it in. Went up to Palaska, and she traveled, being bothered by Bolden. Pacers nearly turned it over on the 5-second violation and then commit the turnover anyway just a couple seconds later. Did get 1 change for the Bobcats out of the timeout. Dejanay Dennis Casanova coming in for Caroline Bevan. Bodies hit the floor, and there is a whistle going the way of Georgia College. That's the 4th team foul on the Pacers. Stefanaki gets her first. McKenna Nix still the only player on either team with multiple fouls. Georgia College scoreless for nearly 5 minutes. Another block for Emma Ifeanyiwu. And it goes to the Aiken Pacers.
A foul drawn on the play, too.
Nyla Nuri got denied, pushed away the defender. That was a bit of a frustration foul for Georgia College. And Nuri gets her 2nd personal. That will bring Nuri out and Elizabeth Wynn back in. A little bit of press from Deshauna Gaither, one-on-one with Primo, and she gets across the timeline rather easily. Katrina Green not happy with the focus that she's seen from her team early on in the first 6 minutes. They trail by 8. Nobody on the court has a point for the Bobcats, but that's back-to-back turnovers down the court for Aiken off the hands of Palaska. Sloan Vick got the steal. Dennis Casanova over to Gaither. Primo trying for the tie-up. Triple team leads to a wide open win. And that puts that scoreless streak to bed. 10-4 with 3.5 to play in the first. Primo stutters in, kicks back outside. Good adjustment by McDermott to bring it back up to the logo. Stefanaki off the screen. Couple misfired passes. Primo driving, turnaround, loops it up. Can't get the bucket to go. Here come the Bobcats in transition. Bolden slows it down for Dennis Casanova. Gaither with the left hand, tosses it up, rebound for Wynn, back outside to the free throw line, and the wide open mid-range, no good from Bolden. Bolden can score in waves down low, but she has not been much of a shooter this year. Emily Fionwu gets the roll from outside. She's got 8, and the lead is 9. Eight points, 3 blocks already for Emily Fionwu, and 4 boards to go with it in 7 minutes. Foul called on the floor. It will lead to 2 shots. McDermott is the guilty party, and that's her second foul.
McDermott and Nix, 2 players you definitely do not want to get into early foul trouble. Still only 2:24 left in the first quarter.
Nika Cordia back on the court. We'll see Destiny Harmon for the first time for the Pacers. She's coming off a career-high 9 points against Columbus State last game. And it's Gaither at the line, 71% for a team that shoots 75% overall. Caroline Bevan came in for Dennis Casanova on the opposite side. Gaither 2 for 2, the lead back down to 7. And in steps Nicole Azar, the 5th-year senior for the first time. Azar did not play in the team's first 9 games, has had a nice impactful presence in the second half of the season though. Adding extra length off the bench for Katrina Green. Cordia lost her dribble, trying to fight to get it back. Players end up on the floor from both sides. It will be a jump ball, and the arrow favors the Bobcats. Good hustle from both sides, and that's the 4th turnover for Aiken, all in the last 5 minutes. Still a 13-6 lead, defense prevailing for the Pacers. Here's Sloan Vick, trying to go on the screen and roll. She telegraphed the pass, couldn't find Bolden, and it ends up out of bounds. .14 on the shot clock, 1:50 on the game clock here in the first quarter. Long 3 for Azar, left it a bit short, off front iron. Both sides in a bit of a rut. Emily Fionwu can't connect on that one. A rare miss today for her. Good save for Primo, stepped on the line. Bailey Vick replaces her little sister Sloan. The siblings out of Marietta, Georgia coming in, both of whom have played every game. Quick hands from Harmon. She's got the takeaway. Pacers in transition. Primo outside. Stefanaki traveled. Unforced errors beginning to pile up for the Pacers. .60 seconds to play in the first of 4. Good drive, left hand to right for Vick. She sent it long. Shooting woes continue. Bobcats are 2 of 14 from the field. Primo, high dribble, snatched away by Bolden. Bevan, the drive, the lay, no good. Fighting for her own miss. She cannot grab the rebound. And Megan Jacoby will make just her second collegiate appearance, the freshman out of Pennsylvania. She hasn't played since New Year's Eve. 2 seconds between shot and game clock. Brittany Batts was begging for Nika Kurdia to come help out the point guard. She finally did so. Now the clock hits 8. Jacoby off to Stefanaki. Clock at 2, puts up the mid-range, no good. And with 1 on the game clock, no shot will be offered by the Bobcats. A fast-paced first 10 at the Convocation Center, full of runs for both sides. No points in the final 2:45 of the first, and the Pacers lead by 7 against Georgia College. Can you do that? I was like, you could add that. Back for the second here on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Noah Adcock-Howeth and Marcus Johnson with you. USC Aiken 0-6 in Peach Belt play, but leading Georgia College 13-6 after 10 minutes. Starting with possession, and Nika Kurdia too strong on the open layup.
Yeah, real good first quarter for the Pacers. Slowed down a little bit as the first wound down, but it looks like they're going to try to pick up the pace once again here.
An interesting first 30 seconds for the Pacers. A missed layup, a turnover forced on the other side, and then another wide open missed layup as Kurdia and Harmon, good defense, but struggling from the offensive side. Neither team has scored in over 3 minutes. Deshauna Gaither looking to get going for the Bobcats. She steps through, forces the body contact, but cannot get the foul. Monique Emilifianwu, who dominated the first, got knocked to the ground, and it turns into Georgia College basketball. Referees were quick with the whistle for the first 3 minutes of the game and then have simply swallowed them since. Kurdia knocks the pass out of bounds intended for Bolden. We'll do it again from the side. We talked about Emilifianwu entering the game, and she immediately responded. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 blocks for the nation's leader in blocks totality. She has more points than the entire Bobcats team combined. Gaither about faces against Harmon. Deshauna Gaither charge called on the Bobcats. Gaither called for her second personal. Good draw by Harmon to get the body positioning.
Yeah, and with Gaither now in multiple fouls, they're leading scorers in foul trouble for both teams.
Gaither and Nuri each with 2 fouls for Georgia College. McDermott and Nix playing with 2 for the Pacers. Pass down low was deflected. Emilifianwu and Kurdia not on the same page. Celeste Scott, the junior out of Columbus, will come in for the first time today. Gaither sits down. Scott scoreless in 6 of her last 7 games played. She's trying to find an offensive rhythm. Outside for Max Snyder. Spins in, great step through, and can't quite get the finish. Both sides have gone cold from the field, no matter where on the court they're shooting from. Here's Caroline Bevan, freshman looking to make something happen for Georgia College. Vick The drive outside, nearly dribbled out by Scott. Celeste Scott inbounds, left it short, and gets her own miss. Bobcats continue to have that in their back pocket.
And one thing the Pacers have struggled with this year is offensive rebounds.
Referees whistled. They wanted to check the shot clock, it looked like. Everything appears to be all right, nothing amiss, at least to the naked eye. And they're going to send both teams back to their respective benches to confirm. Perhaps trying to see if that did indeed get front rim and make sure that the clock did need to be reset. So it will be a review and a media timeout simultaneously. The call on the floor is Aiken basketball, but the shot clock reset to be Georgia College possession. And so that's where we go to the replay system.
Indeed, and they're also going to treat this as a media timeout, so we're going to take a short break. Be right back with the decision.
So we bring you back after the review. It did hit the front of the rim, so it is Georgia College basketball on the side in front of Aiken's bench with 13 on the shot clock, 7:55 on the game clock. And the early immediate timeout means we should have 8 uninterrupted minutes before the half. Georgia College looking to use the stoppage to their advantage after some kick-around basketball. A late whistle will send the Bobcats to the line. Nika Kurdia commits the personal. That will put Bolden at the line. As we mentioned in the open, Bolden had started each of the team's last 8 games and is now coming off the bench today. 84% free throw shooter, but a rare miss for the redshirt junior. First miss at the line for Georgia College in 3 tries.
She's now 21 of 26 on the year.
Converts on the back end, and there, finally, after 2.5 minutes, we have our first points for either team of the second quarter, 13-7. Kurdia stepped through, had an open player down low, could not find her. Another turnover for Nika Kurdia. Harmon trying to get the pickpocket, knocks it out of bounds. Bit of a sloppy start for the fourth-year junior out of Croatia. Pacers still leading by 6. Seems like points are at a premium. Bobcats looking for their first field goal of the quarter. Pacers still looking for their first points. Bolden on the floor and lays it in. Nothing but net for Natalia Bolden. It's a 5-0 run through the last 5.5 minutes for Georgia College. No points since the back half of the first for the Pacers. And another antsy pass. This time Harmon gives it away. Turnover stacking up for Aiken.
And these turnovers are starting to bite them as Georgia College is finding their footing on the scoring.
We have seen the Pacers be their own worst enemy at various points in this season, but it tends to be a fourth quarter issue. This is an early bout of sloppiness and a whistle from behind the play. Pacers wanted to travel. Bolden, as she took that third step, got contacted, and it will lead to the whistle. 2 fouls on Nika Kurdia. Couple changes for both sides as Bolden goes back to the line. At least that was the initial call. And now it's changed to a possession. (13-9), Georgia College down by just 4. They have trailed by as many as 8, and Cardia knocks it out of bounds, nearly had a takeaway. Would have been her second of the quarter. It was Emma Fiamwu and Stefanaki who came in for the Pacers. Sloan Vick and Molly Burns for Georgia College. The Pacers still don't have a point for about 6 minutes. Illegal screen called on Bailey Vick, and it's the Bobcats' turn for a silly turnover. Back in comes Nyla Nuri, who's been playing with 2 fouls. Emily Fiamwu, who has 8 of the team's 13, gives it up to Max Snyder. Xenia Palaska directing traffic, puts it on the ground against Wynn. Fires it up, can't get the roll, and the cold spell continues.
It's these short-range shots that are just killing them right now.
It was a good look by Palaska to create an opportunity against the strong defensive Wynn. Just could not quite find the bottom of the cup. Burns wanted the screen and roll, instead finds Sloan Vick. Now back up top to Nuri. Nuri for 3. Got contacted by Palaska, and it was not tipped. It's an air ball. Dejanay Dennis Casanova in for the Bobcats. Deshauna Gaither back on as well. Five and a half to play in the second. Pacers still don't have a bucket in this quarter. And there's a foul away from the ball.
So they're going to get Win on this one.
They called it on Max Snyder, at least on the PA. It was actually whistled on Elizabeth Wynn, as you said, so that's the first personal for her. 3rd team foul for the Bobcats. Palaska lines up the 3. Can't get that one to go either. Same spot as she banked in a triple in the first quarter. This one too short. Now 7.5 minutes without a point for the Pacers. Dennis Casanova can't get the roll. Offensive rebound for Nuri. She was uncontested going up against Emily Fiamwu. And a jump ball whistled quickly. Possession Pacers. Snagged away by Max Snyder.
Snyder doing a great job there, forcing the turnover.
Aiken cannot buy a basket right now, but the defense has held strong to keep them in front. Monique Fiamwu. About faces, puts it up, got hit, all kinds of contact, no whistle. And Georgia College comes away with the basketball. Gaither accelerates. And another late whistle. Fouls have been called consistently, but the whistles have been slow. And that's another 2-point line chance for the Bobcats.
I guess send Gaither to the line. 71% from the charity stripe, 50 of 70.
Deshauna Gaither 0 for 5 from the field, but both her points have come from the line already today. Make it 3 for 3 from the line. Georgia College now has more made free throws than they do made field goals in a quarter of the attempts. 1 of 2 at the line. Offensive rebound, Natalia Bolden. It's a 1-possession game for the Bobcats. Vick to Bolden. Bolden drives, chucks it up, didn't get anything. Dennis Casanova pressing on Snyder. Snyder breaks contain. Palaska over to Stefanaki. There's a whistle and 1.
Well, you're going to break the scoreless drought. That's the best way to do it. Hoop and a harm.
Chance for three the old-fashioned way. Stefanaki, after she put up a season-high 13 last game, gets on the board. Foul went against Sloan Vic. Caroline Bevan in to replace her. Riley Miller in for Kurdia for Aiken. Stefanaki has also struggled from the line this season, less than 50%. Doesn't get that one to go. Pacers just 61% as a team. 15-10, 3:45 to go in the half. Nice dribble move from Gaither. Bolden against Palaska. Line drive was blocked and rebounded by Emma Lifyanwu. Here's Riley Miller, the freshman out of Springfield, Virginia. Back over to Snyder. Miller drives, lays it up and in. Riley Miller gets the bucket to go down.
No business making that bucket with the defense Georgia College was playing, but somehow it found its way.
From the basketball powerhouse that is Paul VI. Known for some of the finest men's recruits in the country. Their women's program just as talented. Miller the latest in a long line. On the opposite side, the and one goes for Georgia College, and they answer right back. Deshauna Gaither with her first made field goal. It was the toughest of the 6 she's taken. And another free throw for Georgia College coming. Miller the foul. Gaither's 3 of 4 at the line. She has a team high 5. Nobody else has more than 3 for the Bobcats. Free throw is good with that made bucket. Georgia College now more points in this quarter than the last one with 3 still to spare. 17-13 in the first half. Elizabeth Wynn and Bailey Vick in for Georgia College. 4-point game. Pacers looking to retaliate. Stefanaki puts it up. Can't get the bounce. Fighting for her own rebound. She grabbed it. Just bullied her way through Bolden and Wynn. Stefanaki on the drive. Turns around. Left it strong. Palaska had to be wary of the over-the-back call. Wynn gets the rebound. Gaither up top. Bobcats looking to get hot going into the half. Ball was tipped out of bounds by Snyder. Bobcat basketball underneath. Destiny Harmon hops off the bench for the Pacers, replacing Riley Miller. Here's Bailey Vick. Bevan at the elbow, contacted by Stefanaki, and she just never saw the shot clock.
And Georgia College has come close to running into that problem a few times, but they got bailed out by either a foul or a turnover.
9 turnovers per side. It's the 3rd team turnover. And an over-the-back foul called on Bolden. Will send the Pacers to the line, as that's the 5th team foul for Georgia College in the quarter. First against Bolden. It's Emma Lifyanwu at the line at 60%. 8 points in the first quarter, nothing so far in the second. And that will continue at least on the first shot. Monique knocks down the back half. She's now at 9 points and 6 rebounds, on her way to what could be her first double-double of the season. Not to mention what she's done in the block department. Vick to the cup, too strong. And a foul called going the other way. Goes against Bolden.
They give another board to Emma Lifyanwu.
Just keep on stacking them. Emily Vanwu has double-digit rebounds in 3 games, but none of them have coincided with double-digit points. She's come close on the double-double a handful of times. Now she has a chance to get into double figures if she can make one or both of these free throws. Nothing but net on the first one. There's 10 points. Two for two for the well-traveled junior. Born in Ireland, raised in Australia, went to school in Nashville, and now here in Aiken, having the best season of her collegiate career. 7-point lead for USC Aiken. Bevan to retaliate, wide right on the deep three. Kicked back out to her on the help from Bolden. Bevan's the best three-point shooter on the roster, but after a game where she was 1 for 8 in the loss to North Georgia, she's been a bit quiet today. Travel on Caroline Bevan.
Yeah, momentum starting to shift back to the Pacers side. They were quiet for the last half of the first and the first half of this second. Now they're starting to heat back up again right in time for halftime.
A minute to go in the period. 20-13 USC Aiken leads. Palaska alone up top. Emily Fionwu on the floor. Corner three for Snyder. Not good. And a falling rebound for Sloan Vick. Gaither in transition. Foul call. Crowd dismayed with the early whistle.
It's going to be Destiny Harmon getting called for that. Looked like she might have had a really good defensive play, but I think they're going to get it for a potential reach.
It's the first on Harmon, 5th team foul. Consistent presence at the line for Georgia College. It's been Gaither and Bolden all quarter getting there, and Gaither will get the first free throw of 2 to go. She's got 7 points. No good on the backside. Rebound initially controlled by Nuri, but she could not save it to her teammates. 5 seconds between shot and game clock, and Stefanaki slows down. Vick pressing up, and hand fighting leads to 2 free throws. Bailey Vick over aggressive, and that will send Stefanaki to the line.
And not too surprised they went for the aggressive play there with only, again, 5 seconds separating shot and game clock. Pacers likely were just going to eat away at the time.
Nicole Azar, Caroline Bevan in for Vick and Gaither. Stefanaki 0 for 1 at the line today. Make it 1 for 2. Gets a friendly roll here on the home court. Both sides just 2 made field goals in the quarter. Free throws have dominated this second. 2 for 2 for Ioana Stefanaki. Longtime member of the Greek national team. And the lead, the largest it's been this quarter, 22-14. Bevan back outside. Nuri drives herself in, blocked, and a whistle. Emma Lifyanwu nearly had her 4th rejection of the half. And the boos cascade in once again. First personal on Emma Lifyanwu. Nuri nothing but net on the first of 2. First chance at the line for Nyla Nuri. That's her first bucket. And she's perfect. 4.8 on the game clock. Pacers looking to get a shot off. Stefanaki fires it up. Wide left as time expires in the half. A defensive duel at the Convocation Center, and USC Aiken leading 22-16. Pacers hunting their first win of the new season and led by 11-7 from Emma Lifyanwu. They have a 2-possession lead at the half. We're back in 15, and then we've got 2 quarters remaining between the Bobcats and the Pacers on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Welcome on back inside the USC Aiken Convocation Center. Ladies and gentlemen, alongside Marcus Johnson, I'm Noah Adcock. How with a whole lot of defense in those first 20 minutes between the Pacers and Georgia College Bobcats. And it's USC Aiken who leads 22-16 on the back of a brilliant half from Monique Emelifyanwu.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's putting herself on pace for having a career day, closing in on that first double-double of the season with 11 points and 7 rebounds. Also, a trio of blocks, which for the moment has put her in the lead in the nation in total blocks on the year, surpassing Journey Bennett of Central Oklahoma's 58.
And that is leading all divisions NCAA. Monique Emelifyanwu has been as incredible a presence in the middle as you're going to see. And we've seen with this Georgia College roster, there's a lot of length. It's not as if she towers over every player she comes against. It's a combination of presentation, positioning, and simple ball skills as well.
She does a great job of reading when the shot's going to be taken. And it's evident because she does not get called for a blocking foul all that often. She has today, which is, I believe, the first time I've even seen it here on this home court.
Emelifyanwu has 11 of her team's 22, and she's going to grab a steal there after the pass intended for Wynn was a bit long. Both sides returning their starting fives from the first half. Gaither, Vick, Wynn, Nuri, and Bevan for Georgia College. Kurdia, Snyder, Emelifyanwu, McDermott, and Nix on the other side. A turnover for the Pacers, and there's block number 4 for Monique.
And she's averaging just about 4 blocks per game, and so she's met her quota for today. Let's see if she can keep adding.
Her season high is 7 against Francis Marion in that win at home in December. Long 3 for Gaither, and she knocks it in. That's the first triple of the day for Georgia College, and Gaither now has a team-high 10.
As a team, they were 0 for 5 from distance. We'll see if they try a few more.
Emelifyanwu to answer, wide left, a little bit off the mark. Pacers are now 3 of 9 from outside. Just a 3-point game. Bobcats down low and a quick 5-0 run for Georgia College. Wynn makes it a 1-point contest.
Already the Bobcats coming out playing fast and aggressive.
There was a lot of frustration from players and coaches alike for Georgia College in the first half. Emelifyanwu up and under, Wynn for the bucket. Makes it 24-21. She has tied her season high with 13 points for the second straight game. A much more composed and put together Georgia College team so far in the third quarter. A bit long for Gaither. She's slow to get up behind the play. Pacers have numbers in the 5-on-4 if they can take advantage. There is a wide open McDermott for 3. Can't get it. Offensive rebound for Max Snyder. She'll bring it back up. Kurdia for 3. No. Down to the floor, McKenna Nix, who we did not see much of in the first after 2 early fouls. Back the other way. Short shot for Bevan, no good. Nix played just 3 minutes in the first half. She is the team's leading scorer. Emelifyanwu lines it up, and it's short again from outside. Aiken is 0 of 4 from deep in this quarter. Gaither, great pass. The extra move to Win makes it a 1-point game once more. 7-2 run to start the third for the Bobcats, and that will lead to the timeout for Brittany Batts. A rejuvenated Georgia College squad, and USC Aiken now 1 of their last 9 from the field.
Yeah, Pacers have come out a little bit slow from the halftime, and Georgia College changing up their game a little bit. They're not passing as much. They're shooting a lot quicker, not letting the Pacers set up on defense, and they're reading the defense really well, especially under the basket.
Bobcats are beginning to sag off from outside as USC Aiken has not made a three-pointer since the first. Went 3 of 5 from deep in quarter number 1, 0 of 7 since. Pacers came into the game just 25% as a team from beyond the arc, and they have quickly come back down to earth over the last quarter plus. Georgia College 5-9 on the year, 1-5 in Peach Belt play. Their only win was a 10-point victory over Georgia Southwestern a week ago. But they have won 3 of their last 4 games before that loss to North Georgia on Wednesday. Bobcats have been very good against teams with a losing record. They have only 1 win out of the 5, however, against a team that is above 500. That was that victory over GSW, who's 8-5. So Katrina Green's squad, they have made their living against teams on the lower portion of the D2 ranks. Aiken's 3-11. This profiled as a close one coming into the day. That's what we've gotten, and Nix walked and she knew it. 11th turnover of the game for Aiken. And the quiet quarter continues. Bobcats have a chance for their first lead of the game. Deshauna Gaither, Georgia College's leading scorer, for the lead. No good from 3, and it goes the other direction. Palaska in for Nick. Xenia Palaska has seen a healthy amount of time down low. Max Snyder continuously running point. That's been her spot most of today. Palaska on the block. Outside for Stefanaki. No good. Another chance for the Bobcats to take advantage. Gaither going to the line, forced her way into the contact, flopped her way to the ground, and gets 2 shots as a result. Bobcats have been very good at forcing those shooting fouls. They have taken 11 free throws to the 9 of Aiken. There's not a huge discrepancy, but the ratio of fouls that have been shooting fouls called against Aiken notably higher. Gaither now 6 of 8 at the line.
And the fact that it's Gaither who's drawing these shooting fouls is what's keeping Georgia College in this game and potentially going to give them the lead.
It will do just that. Bobcats lead for the first time today, 25-24. We've talked about it a handful of times this season. The Pacers have been desperately looking for a shot creator all year long. Stefanaki will go to the line. A great cut to help out Emma Ifeanwu, and she gets a chance to regain the advantage.
Yeah, already 2 for 3 from the charity stripe today, looking to add to those numbers.
Deshauna Gaither becomes the first player on Georgia College's roster to pick up a 3rd foul. She'll be replaced quickly by Bailey Vick. Pacers have just 1 player with 3 personals. That's Nika Kurdia. Unable to get the roll, Stefanaki bounces out. Pacers have been a bit above average from the line today. And with the make, they're now 8 of 11. 25 all, just under 4 minutes into the half. These 2 teams will meet again down in Milledgeville in the middle of February. Emma Ifeanwu got the takeaway, 2-on-1, all the way to the basket, and 2 shots coming for Snyder. She could not quite finish the and one.
And nasty spin just took it out of the basket, but at least the consolation prize is 2 shots.
Bailey Vick's 3rd foul comes as well. Gaither and Vick each now having 3. Puts a bit of foul trouble on some of the Bobcats' veteran leaders. 2 seniors in foul trouble. And Snyder, who's the best free throw shooter on the roster, knocks down the first and gives Aiken the lead.
Came into the game 90% from the line.
Hard to do much better than that. 2 for 2 at the stripe. And now the Bobcats will make a move. Nicole Azar in to replace Vick. Azar, the former Samford Bulldog and Western Carolina Catamount, taking a 5th year at the D2 level.
Azar only saw 2 minutes of action in that first half. But kind of a necessary move here with the foul trouble looming.
And gives some length, a 5'11 guard will work against some smaller defenders, as she does here against Harmon. She lost her footing, and well played by Bevan to toss it off of Stefanaki. Stefanaki trying to argue that Bevan had stepped out of bounds while saving it, but it was well handled by the freshman from Sewanee. And Georgia College maintains possession with 12 on the shot clock. Good screen. Bevan got walled away by Emilifianwu. 2 on the shot clock. Azar gets it up just in the nick of time. It is waved off. She did not get it off in time.
And again, watching that play unfold, they were not aware of the shot clock. You have to be aware of that thing. That is a problem the Pacers used to have in the past.
Brittany Batts has made a concerted effort alongside assistant coach Nkosi Gotti to find a way to be more fruitful with the team's time. Emilifianwu, the mid-range no good. Palaska with the offensive board. Second chance for Aiken. Good ball movement from the Pacers. Everybody's got a touch. Stefanaki for 3. Yes, ma'am.
Nice clean shot there from Stefanaki. A much-needed three-pointer with the Bobcats clawing their way back into it.
Stefanaki's got 8 off the feed from Destiny Harmon, 30-25, and it's a 6-0 run in the last 90 seconds. Bevan, the step back, air ball. And a reach-in foul is called on a frustrated Bolden.
And some great defense there from Snyder, getting in the way there.
Second personal, or rather third personal listed on Bolden, third team foul. And as we hit the media timeout, Pacers playing with a little bit of confidence as they look for the W. Back to work in the central portion of the third quarter. Pacers leading 30-25, and there are now 3 players with 3 fouls for Georgia College. Gaither, Vick, and Bolden. If you were going to handpick 3 players to get in foul trouble for the Pacers, that's who you want to see. Stefanaki has the last 5 points, and the lead is 7.
Stefanaki picking up where Emilifianwu left things off in the first half. Now she's heating up.
Whistle away from the ball. It's an offensive foul on Georgia College. The shot was good for the Bobcats, but it, of course, does not count. Offensive foul on Nyla Nuri, and guess what? That's her third. Perhaps equally as important, that's 4 team fouls on the Bobcats. Pacers will be shooting the rest of the quarter, and there's 4 minutes to go. Nix can't hit from in close. She came back in for Emilifianwu at the timeout. Nearly 3 minutes scoreless for the Bobcats. Bevan trying to change that, stuttering to the stripe, and she will get 2 shots off the personal on Snyder. It's the first on Max Snyder. Bevan at the line. She has not attempted a free throw today, but she is the team's best free throw shooter at 92%. Immediate impact freshman. These two teams currently on the outside looking in the top 8 in Peach Belt play, 1-5 and 0-6 respectively. Both looking to make their way back into what has been a strong, as always, Peach Belt Conference. North Georgia, Columbus State, AU, and USC Beaufort all at the top right now.
And AU and USC Beaufort, newcomers to being the women's basketball powerhouses in the Peach Belt.
Travel called on Stefanaki. She picked up her pivot foot. It is a full slate of action today in the Peach Belt. There's always one team out of the 11 that's not playing conference play. Today that's Flagler, and so they picked up a game against non-NCAA program Trinity College. And that's going about the way you'd expect. Flagler's up 62-22. Bevan outside for Nuri. Can't get it to go from deep. Stefanaki in transition. Nix's build held scoreless. She puts that up and will go to the line. McKenna Nix a chance to break her ice. See who the foul goes on. Initial call appears to be Elizabeth Wynn, and that is her second.
I will say it's a little odd looking up at the scoreboard and seeing a 0 next to 21's name under the points category.
Has not been what we've seen very frequently. The freshman's averaging 14 a game. And can't get on the board here. Elsewhere around the Peach Belt, whole lot of action. North Georgia up in a close one on Georgia Southwestern. That's been a fun one so far. USC Beaufort is trailing against Columbus State University. That's a matchup of Titans. Big lead for Middle Georgia on Clayton State, and then AU up large on Lander. Whistle and a travel, going back the other way. 2:49 to go in the third, 33-27 to score. Emily Fionwu in for Palaska. Not very often today have we seen Nix and Emily Fionwu on the court simultaneously. Might as well take the three. Stefanaki, give her an inch, she'll take a mile. She's got 13 right now and has come alive in the third. Nine of her 13 have come in this quarter. Good answer on the other side for the Bobcats. Gaither is at 14. It's her 5th straight game in double figures. Inside for Nix, can't get the roll. Stefanaki has tied her season high. Gaither looking to do it all herself. Instead has to help from Nuri. Vick drives back outside right to the defensive Harmon. Meanwhile, a tumble on a nice dribble move. Vick got crossed up. Wide open three. Snyder, yes!
Great read there by the Pacers, getting it over to Snyder in the corner, draining one from downtown.
Offense abound for both sides. Timeout called by the Bobcats as the Pacers have their largest lead of the game.
The Pacers that came out a little bit slow here in this quarter, but they have turned it on full steam, and a lot of credit for that goes to Stefanaki, hitting 13 points, tying Emily Fionwu for the team lead.
And we talked about it a bit on Wednesday. USC Aiken lost to a number 19 in the nation Columbus State program where they kept it close really all game long. There aren't a lot of moral victories in this conference, but if there are such a thing, Brittany Batts' squad certainly found one, and they have used that performance to throttle themselves into the lead against Georgia College here today.
Yeah, and anytime you can go up against a nationally ranked opponent and come away with a moral victory, it's going to build confidence for a team and help you as you go out down the road on the season.
There is a lot of conference play still to come in the next couple months. And the first-year head coach, Brittany Batts, starting to get her team in line. Nuri was ran off of the three-point marker. Harmon nearly had another takeaway. Vick from deep. Can't get it to go, and it's out of bounds off the side of the glass. Bobcats have missed 8 of their last 9 threes. They are now 1 of 9 on the game. 60 seconds left in the third. Largest lead of the game for either side. Aiken's up by double figures. Harmon a pump fake, mid-range. Can't get the bounce. Gaither accelerates, nearly lost her dribble. To the basket, no good. There's Emma Lifianwu, and she has the double-double. 13 and 10 for Monique Emma Lifianwu. Drives in, kicks. Harmon, 3.
And add an assist to Emma Lifianwu's total today.
Harmon's first bucket. Emma Lifianwu's third assist. It is an 18-4 run for USC Aiken. Game clock at 8. Bevan lost the basketball. Has to put something up. Inside, a denial and a whistle away from the ball. The referee furthest from the contact gives free throws with less than a second to play.
They're going to call that one on Nix again, so she's up to 3 fouls now. Fortunately for her, it's right at the end of the quarter.
Elizabeth Wynn is at the line. She's a 66% shooter there. First attempt of the day is good. So it was a clean block from Emma Lifianwu, but the help defense from Nix draws the whistle. Wynn goes 1 of 2. The rebound comes for Stefanaki, and that's how the quarter comes to a conclusion. USC Aiken storming onto the scoreboard in the back half, and they lead 42-30, as good as we've seen this team look all season.
Absolutely, but it's going to be crucial now. As we said earlier in the game, the fourth quarter is where the struggles happen. Now, they got that out of the way early today. We'll see if they can keep the pressure on Georgia College, keep their foot on the gas, and close this one out for their first conference win of the season.
Back in 30 seconds for the fourth on the Peach Belt Sports Network. It's the largest lead of the season for the USC Aiken Pacers. They were up by a baker's dozen late in the third. They lead by 12 to start the fourth, 42-30, and an early turnover, perhaps inauspicious to begin the final quarter.
And not a good omen to start things off, but I want to take a look at something here. Georgia College leading the field right now with 10 offensive rebounds. However, they only have 4 second chance points. That's just showcasing how good this Pacer defense has been in preventing them from getting to the basket on second effort.
The ability to hold Georgia College quiet has been a key one, because even when the Pacers went icy offensively themselves, they were still able to keep the advantage. Pass out of bounds by Natalia Bolden. She tossed it into her own bench and turns it over. A 12-point deficit for Georgia College. They have not scored more than 14 in a single quarter. So they're going to need to ramp up the offense in a hurry as they try to come back and avoid their second consecutive conference loss. Stefanaki no good for the 3.
Both she and Emlif Yanwu currently tied for their career high in points. Nyla Nuri for three, connects from outside.
And that was a much-needed three for Georgia College, gets them back to single digits in the deficit.
Good find from Deshauna Gaither, the team leader in assists, has her fourth. She has distributed well. Palaska backing down the freshman, lays it in for two.
Good lefty shot there, getting around the defense and answering right back.
Palaska's had great footwork all game long. She's had a couple close misses from in deep, and here able to connect. 5 points for the junior. Gaither drives unopposed to the cup. Two more.
Just a nasty move there. Took Destiny Harmon out of her shoes.
Deshauna Gaither has a game-high 16. Right back into Palaska against Elizabeth Wynn. Foul called through the double team. For Georgia College, 60 has been the magic number. Only one loss went above 60 points this season. But with just 35 points and 8 minutes to go, they're going to have to win in a new kind of way if they can complete the comeback. Morgan McDermott in for Destiny Harmon. Palaska's at the line. She has not attempted a free throw today. The team as a whole, 73%, 11 of 15. Palaska line drive, no good on the first one. Good news for Georgia College is this the last of a 3-game conference road trip. That's never easy at the Peach Belt. They will have Columbus State on Wednesday and then Flagler next weekend. 3 straight games back in Milledgeville. Gaither a high pass to Nyla Nuri. Gaither accelerates through a whole lot of contact, can't connect. Second chance, no good for Wynn. And the third opportunity goes back to Bailey Vick with a foul called on the Pacers. It will go against Stefanaki. That's her second. Nix replaces Palaska for USC Aiken. Pacers a quick one-off on the road, a midweek stop just down to travel to Augusta. They'll be at AU, and then right back home against Clayton State on Saturday. Another offensive rebound, but a travel called on Wynn. She went up, came down, and fell all the way to the hardwood. Always nice when your one road game out of 5 is close enough that you could practically bike there.
Yeah, it's not really much of a road game other than, of course, the hostile atmosphere, I say in quotation marks.
Depends on the day down there at AU. And the Pacers stepped on the line. It will be another turnover for USC Aiken. Although they have won that margin so far today. 19 turnovers for the Bobcats, just 14 for the Pacers. Offenses have cooled for both sides in the fourth. It's a 44-35 game with 7:12 to go. Gaither, pass to Wynn, was deflected and taken away. McKenna Nix up top. On over to Max Snyder. Back to Emma Lifianwu. No good. Back iron. Gaither bothered on the pass, able to get it away despite McDermott's harassment. Vick had a lane, puts it up from the heavy angle and connects. First basket of the day for the senior Bailey Vick. Comes at a key time. It's a 7-point game. McDermott lost her dribble, taken away by Gaither. In transition, wrong side of a 2-on-1, left it short. Rebound Pacers. Under 6 to play. Nobody near Stefanaki, and she can't get it to go. Vick
driving down Main Street. Pass was deflected twice and picked up by Stefanaki. All the way back, McDermott alone for two. A fine time for her first points of the game. And timeout called by Katrina Green. That will turn this to the media timeout. And so we step away for the final time in regulation. Game one of this Peach Belt doubleheader sees the Pacers in front by 9. Pacers on the defense, leading by 9, trying to grab their first win of the conference slate. Georgia College to the cup. Caroline Bevan could not connect. And it will be Pacer basketball. Riley Miller, Destiny Harmon in for the Pacers at the media timeout. 3 moves for Georgia College. Celeste Scott, Sloan Vick, and Caroline Bevan. A 5-second violation. The Pacers were unprepared for Scott's press, and there was no help for the inbound.
Yeah, you can see Emma Lefanu trying to desperately call her team in, but by the time they saw her, it was too late.
Celeste Scott brings a heavy defensive element. That's why she's come in. And an unforced error. Elizabeth Wynn travels before she makes the bucket and gives away a 2-point chance. 4th turnover of the game for Wynn. That has been the Bobcats' undoing today. McDermott drives and kicks outside to Harmon. Pacers letting that clock drip down a bit further. Miller pressed by Scott. Nearly a reach. May have gotten away with one. It's a steal regardless. Vick in transition. She has to slow it down for Georgia College. Emily Fionwu knocks it away, has the takeaway. Transition, stop, layup, and a new career high for Monique Emily Fionwu.
It took her longer than we thought she was going to get when she hit 13 early on, but she finally eclipses her mark this season.
15 and 10, 5 blocks, 3 steals, 3 assists. A full game for the junior. The lead is 11. Pacers can smell victory. Harmon with tons of body contact from Bevan gets it away. Just 1 foul per side this quarter. Nix drives, forces the contact, off the box and no good. It ricochets to Riley Miller.
Right place, right time there for Miller.
Just the 5th offensive rebound of the game for Aiken, but it comes at a key moment. Nix driving, and a blocking foul will reset that shot clock for Aiken.
You know, Nix is looking for a bucket here. She's only 3 points shy of hitting 200 on the season.
Has been an impressive collegiate debut for the freshman out of Temple. The foul went against Bolden. It's her 4th. And a couple moves will be made on each side as the Pacers inbound. Nix to the basket and whistled for the foul on Nuri. 2 shots for McKenna Nix. Nuri just came in for Bolden. And then she grabs her fourth immediately.
All those early fouls coming back to bite Georgia College. Now they can't put the players they want out there for the matchups they probably strategize for.
Nick's no good on the first one. McKenna now 1 of 3 at the line. She has just 1 point on the game. Gets the second one to roll in. Bobcats have not scored in nearly 3 minutes. Not ideal for a team down by a dozen. Nearly another takeaway for Max Snyder, who's been everywhere on that side of the ball. Good put up for Elizabeth Wynn. And Wynn is 1 point from a double-double. Would be her third of the season. Harmon stumbled her way in, and there is the foul on Bailey Vick. That was the last one the Bobcats had to give. That's Vick's fourth. So Vick, Nuri, Bolden, all one away from disqualification.
And still 3 minutes and change left to play in this game. Lots of time.
And there is another whistle that will bring us to free throws. Didn't even let a second come off the clock. That's the fifth on Vick, and she is done. Bailey Vick, 20 minutes, 5 fouls, 5 turnovers in a scoreless effort for the senior. She'll be replaced by Bevan. It's the 4th time Vick has fouled out this year. She's the team's foul leader. Wrong person to foul, as well as Max Snyder stays hot at the stripe. Referee just sent both sides to their respective benches. It was whistled by the referee closest to the scorer's table. Uncertain what this is about.
I quite wondered if potential lane violation, and they might be going back to check it.
There is the chance of that. Katrina Green, the assistant coach, is asking as well. We'll get the update here.
You got a discrepancy that we're checking, whether it's 4 fouls.
We're checking
5
for
fouls.
the correct number of fouls on there.
Which player?
Number 1, Gray 1.
Gray 1.
Gray 1.
Play by play here.
All right.
So the discrepancy is among the foul total for Bailey Vick. The live stats had 5. The scoreboard officially had 5. So the question becomes, was one of them misgiven, or is Bailey Vick in fact disqualified?
And it's important to make sure you get calls like this correct. I mean, for no other reason, keep a player in the game that you desperately want to have, especially in the later stages.
And it was the Bobcats assistant Courtney Brewer who started the conversation, trying to confirm. Always want to err on the side of caution. And we'll utilize this opportunity to remind you that we have another game coming up.
We confirm that number 1 fouled out of the game. She does have 5 fouls.
So the foul is confirmed. It is 5 fouls for Bailey Vick. She is done. We appreciate the refs checking on that and the communication. About 30 minutes after this ball game is done, the men's programs for the Pacers and Bobcats will go toe-to-toe. USC Aiken men looking to stay above 500. They enter at 7-7. Georgia College 9-5, led by a couple key impact players, including C.J. Jones, who's averaging nearly 20 points per game in his first year at the D2 level after a couple strong seasons at Arkansas Pine Bluff.
And USC Aiken is really looking for a win today. They have needed it. They've had a couple of rough stretches here, and coming off of a very disheartening loss is the best way to put it in the last game. Leading by 1 with a dozen seconds left. Late basket by Columbus State to take a 1-point lead, and then on the inbound pass, just could not pull the trigger in time. Even though the bucket was made, it was a tad short.
Aiken led by as many as 19 in the second half of that ball game. Came all the way back to lead in that final minute, as you said, but couldn't quite grab the W. It has been an uncharacteristically loss-heavy season for Mark Vanderslice's team that's such a perennial Peach Belt power. Aiken had to completely replace their entire starting five from last year, and now they're going to see a Georgia College team that has dropped 3 of their last 4 against the Pacers, but all of them tend to be close contests, and that will certainly be a fun one coming up after this is over. Aiken leading 50-39 with 3:06 to go. There's more conversation at the scorer's table for the referees. A lot of numerical questions, primarily being posited by the Bobcats bench. And for Georgia College, this is one of the quietest offensive showings they have shown all season long. They scored a season low 39 in a loss to Southern Wesleyan in November. Since then, not many games like this, even in the high loss against North Georgia on Wednesday where they fell by 19, they still put up 48. Yep. So there's more checks of the fouls, there's more conversations on that. Pacers with the double-digit lead. They can smell that victory coming, and this is the kind of win where they have had to succeed in a variety of different ways quarter to quarter that can build that confidence going into the back half of Peach Belt play.
And this team, they've been able to make the adjustments too. When Georgia College came out in the out of halftime, storming and firing on all cylinders, Pacers looked a little slow, but they turned things around, they kept up with them, and they kept playing that good defense.
You've got what should be a very fun one against Augusta University on Wednesday. The Jaguars, like you said, are playing much better than they have in recent years, up to 9-4 entering today. They still lead close on Lander late. And then you've got Clayton State and Georgia Southwestern, 2 teams that are right around the middle of the pack in the Peach Belt, and both of those are home opportunities as well. All that to say, you're into the point of the schedule where you can potentially start finding some success if you can keep running out the performances that you've seen on both sides of the ball, especially defensively today. The Pacers have held Georgia College to just 25% shooting from the field and just 18% from outside. It's kind of a reversal from when these two teams played here last year, where Aiken lost by 14. They shot just 15% from deep and just around 30% overall.
They kind of flipping the script there, especially looking back at that first quarter. Only 2 field goals on 5 attempts for Georgia College. They definitely picked up their game, but it has been a rough going for the Bobcats.
Georgia College, if they cannot come back, will fall to 5-10. Coming off a season where they were 17-13, this would be what could potentially be their second losing season in the last 3 years. But a lot of turnover with Ross Jolly going out of the head coaching role after 6 years with the team. They have 5 losing seasons in the last 7, but this was an early 2000s powerhouse who has now not made the NCAA tournament in 15 years. The conference has gotten tougher, and whether it's been Ross Jolly, the interim head coach Katrina Green, or anyone else in recent memory, Milledgeville has been a tough place to win, at least at the highest level in the Peach Belt.
Yeah, Georgia College, they've had a lot of success in a lot more of their outdoor sports, it seems, than their indoor sports, but we'll see if things can turn around. A new changing of the guard and everything could be the breath of fresh air the Bobcats need.
And we are getting closer to those outdoor sports. I know you and I are counting down the days. 20 days until the Division II baseball season and softball seasons kick off. This is an extra long review for additional reasons, whatever those may be.
Because they confirmed the 5 fouls. Now I'm just wondering if they're looking back to to try to find every foul, which is going to be very hard to do. We don't have timestamps, unfortunately, on the replay device.
Perhaps they're paid by the hour. Who knows? But we'll get to crossover season here in the next few weeks. Means you'll hear a lot of both of us, whether it's indoor or outdoor on the Peach Belt Sports Network.
I know for sure I'll be all over the place. There'll be days where I'm starting my day at softball and then finishing things off right here in the Convocation Center after a short trip to baseball.
You have made the integral mistake of becoming indispensable.
Unfortunately, I've become the jack of all trades around here.
As you stick around long enough and they're going to train you how to do everything one way or another. That's my fear.
I walked right into it. I started out here in 2011 and I never escaped.
I really don't want to make you feel bad, but I'm trying to work back. I think I was in 4th grade when you started here.
Yeah, well, yeah, 2011, my freshman year, right here at good old USCA.
It's a veteran presence, a man who has known as a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two in this gym and across this campus. And this review there's got to be something very specific they're looking for. We're antsy, the fans are antsy, the players are antsy. The men's teams that are hanging out in the corridors outside the court of play are getting antsy too. They want to get going and get warmed up for their big game. Make the 2-hour drive, or hour 45 thereabouts from Milledgeville to here. And then you sit for a couple hours. You know that's par for the course. But the sooner you can get going, the happier you are.
One of the good things about this facility here is we have 2 upstairs gyms that both the men teams can warm up on. Obviously, the men's game is going to be delayed a little bit.
So after confirming that it was 5, they've now reconfirmed that it was 5. And so now we can get a second free throw from Max Snyder. All that unable to hit. 11-point game with 3:03 to go. Sloan Vick from deep, left it short. Strong rebound for Stefanaki. Bobcats are pressing. Emily Fionwu able to about face and get across the line. Bobcats swarming on Snyder and Emily Fionwu. Max Snyder calls for the screen. Gets the handoff to McKenna Nix to the basket, her first field goal.
And that gets her to her 200 mark for the season.
It's an ideal possession for the Pacers. A lot of time comes off the clock. The field goal is good. Gaither answers on the other side. She's got 20. Little over 2 minutes remaining. Still an 11-point game. Stefanaki across the timeline.
Yeah, just look for the Pacers to keep eating up this clock here. Try to preserve this win.
Georgia College trying to get a stop. There's nobody with Stefanaki. The runner's not good. And she was unable to corral her own rebound. Was a good look, but you saw Stefanaki pull up perhaps a half step early, trying to avoid the charge call. And then on the opposite side, she plays the strong defense and knocks the ball out of bounds. In comes Celeste Scott. She replaces Caroline Bevan. About 100 seconds left in the game. Vick lost her dribble, rolls it back up, left it short, pads the rebound numbers, and then gets fouled on the act of shooting.
I think it's going to be McKenna Nix. Or correction, it will be Max Snyder instead. Has more fouls to give, so better for the Pacers.
Aiken certainly not upset with that development, at least in terms of who got the foul. Vick hits the first free throw, and those are Sloan's first points of the game. Coming off a career-high 11, she's been kept a bit quieter, can't get the back half to go. There's nobody with Nick. She could cherry pick down the back end, and Emma Lifianwu could not find her. Timeout was wisely called by Brittany Batts. There were two defenders in Monique's line of vision. If she had seen past them, Nix had an open entire half of the court.
Yeah, it was just a matter of not being able to get the pass off Georgia College. In desperation mode here, going with this full court press. But it may be paying off for them as they held the Pacers in their own zone.
Time is not on the Bobcats' side. Just 90 seconds remaining in this conference clash. Georgia College led for about 20 seconds in the middle of the third quarter. It was 25-24 Bobcats. Pacers promptly snatched the lead back. Nix on the breakaway. Got hit on the way up, gets the layup anyway. 2 points for McKenna. Scott drives. Another block for Emma Wu. And a reach-in foul on Stefanaki, a bit unnecessary for the redshirt sophomore.
Emma Lifanwu with a beautiful block there, just swatting the ball away on the shot.
That is 6 blocks for Monique Emma Lifanwu. Dribbled off her foot. There's another takeaway for the Pacers. Hand fighting, Scott on the foul likely. That will be who the personal goes against. 2 shots coming for Aiken. And it's all academic from here. Elizabeth Wynn in for Nyla Nuri. The Pacers have forced 24 turnovers, 10 steals, and 8 blocks.
Has been a defensive masterclass for the Pacers today, something that's really refreshing to see.
And you knew it would take a while to get there, but Brittany Batts, when she was hired, she was the National Assistant Coach of the Year 2 years ago at Gannon up in Pennsylvania, and they run a brilliant defensive scheme. You had a feeling that defensive presence was going to come along.
Yeah, and when they made the hire for Brittany Batts, I was very excited. She's had a lot of success in her career. She's used to winning, and she's gone on to the Elite Eight multiple times in her coaching and player career.
Molly Burns falls, travels, and turns it over. Under a minute to play, 13-point game. And another move, Nuri in for Wynn. Perhaps a bit surprising only because Nuri has 4 fouls and Wynn has 3. If you are indeed at the point where you are still fouling. At 13, it could go either way. Last touch by the Bobcats. Pacers will inbound. The clock did not stop initially. And it has been overturned. Clock reset to 49-0 rather than the 47-9 it initially stopped at. Win back in for Nuri. Stefanaki was the one who picked up the turnover. Good pass to find Nuri on the inbound. Nyla drives in, falls over, and loses it out of bounds. Another turnover for the Bobcats.
I think she was expecting McKenna Nix to be a little more aggressive on defense, and ended up stumbling over her own feet because Nix didn't bite.
Nix sagged off, widely not looking to pick up a foul, just trying to let that clock keep rolling. It turns into the turnover, and the Pacers will take the timeout just to ensure all proper procedures are performed. So Aiken is going to advance to 4-11, barring miraculous run from Georgia College, and the Pacers will now be at 1-7 in conference play. Or 1-6 rather. They will be tied with Georgia College in that regard.
Yeah, long overdue for their first conference win of the year, but one thing of note, what does it say about this team? Your 2 leading scorers have been held to single-digit points on the day, and you're still leading by 13.
Quick foul called on Sloan Vick. It appears the Bobcats are going to foul even down by double digits.
Not necessarily a bad idea, as the numbers do indicate. The Pacers have not had the most success at the charity stripe. Today they've been much better, but there is a chance, if there's a chance to come back, this is how it's going to be done.
Emilifianwu hits the first one. Monique is now 4 of 5 at the line. She's got 16 and 11. Add to the 6 blocks. It, as you said, a career day for the junior. And Katrina Green calls the timeout.
Just trying to stretch this game out as long as possible.
Men's teams on both sides just shaking their head. They are antsy and ready to play. And it's always an estimated start time of 3:30, but that was when we had said the men's game would get going. We may finish around 3:30 at this rate.
Yeah, typically the men's game never starts exactly on time, but it's usually within a 10-minute window, but it's not going to happen today.
Does not feel likely. Pass was inbounded incorrectly, and Aiken gets the turnover as Vic threw it high. 12 seconds between shot and game clock. Bobcats get the hands in there. Nyla Nuri, just a little hand check, and that's enough to be her 5th foul. So Nyla Nuri's done. 5 points, 5 boards, and 5 fouls. And so that gets Max Snyder another chance at the line.
She was iced on her last trip in between throws.
Caroline Bevan will be the one to come back in. Bevan back-to-back games where she was 1 for 8 from the field. It's another high-ceiling freshman that will be fun to watch the next couple of years. Bevan along with Elizabeth Wynn. There's definitely, even Sloan Vick, a lot of young talent to be intrigued upon for the Bobcats. But save for the senior Deshauna Gaither, not a lot to write home about for Georgia College in this one. The stifling defense of the Pacers has ensured that. Molly Burns takes the 3, airballs it. It is saved inbounds to keep the clock running. And there's another foul called on Georgia College, despite the 16-point advantage for USC Aiken.
18.2 seconds left in the game.
McKenna Nix gets a chance for 2 more. She'll knock down the first one and roll on up to 7 points on the ball game. After being held scoreless in the first half, nice to see her coming alive, and the more these free throw attempts pile up, the more chances she has to add to her total. Shot clock is off. This should be the final possession. Bevan lost the handle, got it back. And she was fouled. Nix commits the freshman mistake. That's 4 on McKenna Nix, and so Caroline Bevan will get 2 free throws. She made both of her attempts in the first half and make it 3 for 3. Pacers, as you said, not getting double-digit points from either of their 2 leading scorers, McDermott and Nix, but 17 from Emilifianwu and 14 for Stefanaki, both of which career highs. And that was enough to prove the Bobcats' undoing. USC Aiken gets the 60-44 win as they pick up 11 steals, 8 blocks, and a W, their first in conference play.
It's a great game for USC Aiken, and as we said, especially in a game when your leading scorers do not lead the field. Everybody else stepping up, playing a great game, and Monique Emilifianwu just an outstanding day for number 13.
Deshauna Gaither with another powerful performance, 20 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists for the senior for the Bobcats. Rest of the team just 24 combined. Bobcats now 5-10, and they will head back home. A 3-game homestand starts Wednesday against the Columbus State Cougars. Pacers now 4-11, and they will head down the road to AU to take on the Jaguars of Augusta at 5:30 Wednesday night. We've got another one coming up in 30 minutes, but for Brent Hager, Brian Busher, Greg Johnson, Shreyas Kumbar, and my partner Marcus Johnson, I've been Noah Adcock Howitt. Aiken gets the job done, and we'll see you for the men's game here in just a few.